Australia is an unfinished product and is now entering a new era. Because of the death of our blessed and glorious Queen Elizabeth II, the crown has solely and rightfully come to Prince Charles Philip Arthur George.
Today, King Charles III was officially proclaimed as the ruling monarch of Australia.
And with hearty and humble affection, we promise him faith and obedience. God save the King.
The flags raised to fly at full mast as the PM announced a one-off public holiday on September 22nd to mourn the Queen's death.
Queen Elizabeth's own words that grief is the price we pay for love is, I think, a fitting statement.
In the UK, it was an even grander occasion. The proclamation televised for the first time in history, as King Charles was formally welcomed as Britain's new monarch. The new king pledging to follow the example set by his mother.
Even as we grieve, we give thanks for this most faithful life.
As he began to look towards his own reign at last.
In carrying out the heavy task that has been laid upon me, and to which I now dedicate what remains to me of my life, I pray for the guidance and help of Almighty God.
The packed room included all 6 living former British Prime Ministers.
God save the King!
God save the King!
Centuries-old tradition and pageantry spilling out into the streets of London.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
And as tributes for the Queen continue to pour in from around the world, 2 brothers united in grief. Soon, the Queen's coffin will depart Balmoral and embark on its long journey to the nation's capital ahead of her state funeral on Monday the 19th of September. The eyes of the world watching on.
To my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this: thank you. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Well, let's go now live to London, where Lisa is standing by at Buckingham Palace. Lisa, in amongst all of this incredible and very formal pageantry, it seems from afar like there's also a fair amount of pretty raw emotion.
That's so true, Hamish. I mean, what's clear from everything we've seen in the last couple of days is not only was Queen Elizabeth much loved by her family, she was so loved by the wider public, and I think that's only going to grow in the coming days. But that affection does seem to be beginning to transfer over to the new monarch, King Charles. After yesterday's proclamation, we saw King Charles greeting the crowds for a second time in 2 days. The Queen, of course, was the original author of the walkabout, and that is one that both King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla are already fully embracing. It's a great PR move, apart from anything else, showing that they are both going to rule for the people. In Balmoral, we saw 3 of the Queen's children, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, attending a church service along with other members of the royal family. And they too stopped to greet well-wishers outside the gates of Balmoral. Extraordinarily enough, almost 25 years to the day that William and Harry greeted members of the public after the passing of their own mother. But probably, Hamish, one of the most unexpected and certainly unannounced moments to occur yesterday was the sight of Prince Harry and Prince William meeting the crowds together, and of course accompanied by their wives, Kate, the new Princess of Wales, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. The couple hadn't been seen together in public for more than 2 years, so there's been a lot of reading into the body language of how the 4 were interacting with each other. Now, in another break with tradition, King Charles decided for the very first time the Accession Council would be televised. Of course, the last one the Accession Council met in that way was 70 years ago. There was no television all those years ago, so a lot of people tuning in for that. And most importantly, what has clearly been shown is a seamless symbolic transfer of power yesterday. There were oaths and signatures, and the King promising to follow the Queen's example, which I'm sure brought a lot of comfort to those who are really feeling the loss of Queen Elizabeth II at the moment.
Lise, what happens next?
Well, in the next half hour, Rach, the Queen's coffin will depart Balmoral Castle. Travelling with her will be her only daughter, Princess Anne. Together, they'll make that almost 300-kilometre journey through the cities of Perth, Aberdeen and Dundee before arriving at the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh. On Monday in the afternoon, the Queen's coffin will travel by procession to St Giles Cathedral, accompanied by King Charles and other members of the royal family. On Tuesday, Princess Anne will then again accompany her mother's coffin on a flight to London. From there, it will travel here to Buckingham Palace and be witnessed by King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla. The coffin will then be returned to England by RAF aircraft, not via train, which is what everyone was originally anticipating. And it'll be the first time in history that the coffin of a British sovereign has been moved via a plane. On Wednesday, the coffin will be taken on a public procession through central London and then will be laid in state at Westminster Hall for the next 4 days, and hundreds and thousands of people are expected to see the Queen lie in state there.